Good evening, everyone. This is the June 13, 2018 meeting of the Auburn Conservation Commission. This meeting is being broadcast live, but will also be recorded and can be viewed on video at the town website, which is auburnguide.com. Before I begin tonight's meeting, I'm required to ask if anyone in the audience is recording this meeting. Okay. No one ever says yes, so I guess that's a good thing. The first item on tonight's agenda is a 7 o'clock public hearing, Longwood Development Corporation, a notice of intent for the construction of a commercial building and parking lot on property located at 17 Mill Street in Auburn. Excuse me, is there a motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed to vote? Okay. I understand from Ms. Conroy that a request to continue tonight's hearing was received this afternoon from the applicant. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so now I believe you've actually already taken matters into your own hands and continued this to 7 p.m. on June 27th?
Yes.
Okay, so although you've kind of preempted what we would normally do, is there a motion to continue the public hearing on this matter at the request of the applicant to June 27th at 7 p.m.?
I make a motion we continue the hearing for Longwood Development Corp. to 6/27 at 7 p.m.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed to vote? Okay.
Okay.
So we have, since that took about 15 seconds, we have a few matters before we can address Mr. Mitchell, so if you'll bear with us for the next few minutes. We have received some certificate of compliance requests for 199 Southbridge Street and also 700 Southbridge Street. For 199 Southbridge Street, Tom and I went out on Saturday to go to the property, and in fact, this gentleman was here. And we made a survey of the property. We looked at the plan that was submitted. The property or the site conditions comply with the plan that was provided, and everything seems to be in order. So, is there a motion?
Could you just answer me, was it June 2nd that you went out and did all those?
Yes, I drove by. You guys went. I went by and took pictures.
Wasn't that when you went, June 2nd?
When did we go, Tom?
You weren't going to go and then you decided to go. You
It
did.
was, okay, thank you.
Okay, just wanted to make sure I had
It's been
to do
3
it
weeks
right.
since our last meeting, so
Rain.
Okay.
It's gonna rain.
thank you.
Okay.
Okay. So, is there a motion
Motion
to issue the
199
to issue
certificate of
South
compliance?
COC.
make a motion to issue the certificate of compliance for
199
199 Southbridge Street.
I'll second that.
Okay, is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, one abstention from Allison.
Second.
I did a last.
Okay, we've got that to sign. Let me see, which one is this? 700 Southbridge. Here we go. All right, if you'd like to sign that, Thomas? How are you, Jim?
Pretty good, Sheila.
Good.
So now, once this is signed, we can pick it up and record it at the registry of deeds.
Yeah,
and You can
yeah.
sell the property. Alright. Is it possible to pick that up tomorrow or Friday, maybe?
Yes, I'm just thinking I might be able, if we've got a couple minutes, I can run down and make a copy.
Oh, perfect.
Right now.
That'd be great. And thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Go make a copy of that. Okay. Right.
I'm sorry, that was me.
That's kind of mean. It's a little mean, yeah.
I was
I think
kidding.
I want this one.
We haven't had candy here in a long
I
time.
know, right?
Yeah.
print out one. Just a question, did you go look at like Rabbiters or anything like that? Did you go check out any of the other, I wanted to do that this week, but I didn't.
We'll discuss that.
Okay. Am I jumping ahead?
A little bit. Sir, why, excuse me, why are you here?
I'm here for the public works notice.
Okay.
Oh,
7:10.
okay. As soon as Ms. Conroy comes back, we have to wait until 7:10 to see if anyone wants to attend the hearing, but we'll deal with you
It
gentlemen
was right on my land.
as quickly as possible, so.
You went to O'Reilly Auto Parts. I took myself to pictures and practice.
We went there, it was a mess, that's why we said,
Yeah.
we're not issuing anything. The
Yeah,
guy
okay.
came back, it was a holdup.
Okay, we all set?
Oh, yes.
Okay. We still have a few minutes.
These are the pictures from that I took the other day from O'Reilly's.
Okay.
Kind of through the fence and went around. Actually,
Right.
that was just beginning of last week. I know you said there was less stuff out there.
The next certificate of compliance request is for 7 South Bridge Street, and that's O'Reilly's Auto Car Parts.
Yeah.
You will recall that we've gone out to the property, and there was a lot of debris in the wetland area. The the owner of the property went out as soon as he received notice from us and went out and cleaned the property. Ms. Conroy sent pictures of the area showing that it had been cleaned out. And I think, Carolyn, you also went too.
Yes, they were cleaned up.
So I'm satisfied that they needed to do what had to be done to clear out that channel. I also had sent an email to Mr. Coyle because when we went out there, the water it's a channel, but the water was standing still, it was brackish, and he acknowledged that there may be an issue with a conduit that, or a culvert that may be blocked in some manner. So I think it's going to, he will, I think, go back and make a further investigation. But for the purpose of issuing the certificate of compliance for Southbridge Street, it appears the applicant did in fact do what we asked them to do. So is there a motion for the certificate of compliance to be issued?
I make a motion that we issue a certificate of compliance for 700 Southbridge Street, O'Reilly's Auto Parts.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Okay.
Just to be safe.
Were you going to abstain?
Yeah, I don't think
Okay.
I've seen the site.
Okay, you abstained for the last one also.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty, well, here's the COC. Thank you.
Before we get to the public hearings, under other business, 6 Pioneer Lane is listed. That matter is actually going to be continued to our next meeting on June 27th.
Okay.
So do you gentlemen want to flip a coin on who goes first? Okay.
He
I
was
think
there
the
first,
city
so
of
you can
Worcester
go
was
first.
really first. The city of Worcester was first, because that was a continuum,
All right.
whatever.
Sorry. Okay.
He's unfazed.
If we got a few minutes, I don't know if you wanted to do anything with 462 Leicester Street. That was the request to amend the order.
Yes, but you know what, according to, that clock is
Oh.
slow, and I
Okay.
have, I actually do have 7:10.
I do
Okay.
now.
I do too,
All right.
yeah.
All right, so the next matter on our agenda is a 7:10 public hearing, City of Worcester Department of Public Works. A notice of intent for repairs and maintenance to the Worcester Diversion Flood Control System spillway, intake structure, diversion tunnel, and riprap slopes on property located on Southbridge Street in Auburn. Is there a motion to open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second that?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, vote. Sir?
Well, I'd like to know exactly what's going on. I had, my house is one Old Farm Road.
Okay.
I'm right in the corner of Upland and Old Farm. I'm the very first house.
So
What's
the-
your name, sir?
Excuse me?
Could I have your name?
Jonathan Altman?
So, Mr. Altman, the work that's being proposed is at the opposite end of the diversion tunnel. It's on Southbridge Street.
I'm sorry, he's referring to.
Oh,
my-
to
my-
you.
Oh, I'm
my,
sorry.
Oh, okay.
All right,
Oh,
then,
all right.
now I'm not confused now, any more than I am usually.
I am.
Okay.
Thank you for clarifying that. All right, but since we called the 7:10 public hearing for the City of Worcester, Mr. Fallon and I did go out on June 2nd to look at the project. In fact, I took a number of pictures, and I, for some reason, was not able to transmit them to you, because I
I
tried.
wanted to go on that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's pretty, too bad.
It's okay, you know, you can
It
go
was
out on
pretty
your own.
neat. It was
I don't think, I
very
didn't.
interesting.
I didn't.
Well,
But
I
anyway-
didn't even know how to get there.
I mean, basically, what they're doing is that they're, it's exactly the way the project is described. They're gonna, I think the intake structure and the spillway has been in existence for
Since
50
the
years?
Flooding, yeah, since the big
Lots of
flooding.
flooding,
Worcester in
50s.
the
I bet
early
it was
50s,
more
was
than
the
50.
square.
So-
I was young.
And it's actually, the structure is actually held up remarkably well. And so
Yeah.
what they're gonna do is they're gonna basically be making repairs because of sprawling and just wear and tear. They indicated they would put up the appropriate siltation and erosion control measures as was outlined in the notice of intent. I think the minimum, the results of the work will be, I think, a positive in terms of the resources that the spillway and the intake structure and diversion tunnel control. So, based on that, and we had a meeting, they had made the presentation at our last meeting, and basically the only purpose to continue it was for us to be able to take a look and see the conditions on site. So, if is there any discussion from the audience? Okay. Is there any discussion among board members?
So, I'm sorry, can you tell me a little bit more? So they're just dealing with the concrete part of it, or it looked like there was pictures of
They're gonna deal with the concrete. They're gonna actually do some trimming
vegetation
of the
clearing?
vegetation and vegetation control, reestablish riprap. They will put in place erosion control measures while the work is being done.
So you're gonna put in more riprap?
They're gonna repair the riprap that's there.
It's covered in vegetation, you can't even see it,
It
it's
seems
really
like they might
heavy.
need more or something.
Well, you know,
If they really wanted to not be vegetated.
well, I think what's happened is that, and again, over time, and I don't know the last time
It's so long,
maintenance
probably they
was
did
done.
maintenance.
that,
But he said that, oh yeah, it's all riprap, but you look and you can't even see it. It's just like, there's like little trees almost, you know?
And did he explain why it's important that it not be vegetated? Wouldn't we prefer it to be vegetated?
I think the problem is that by establishing the riprap, it controls the water flows. It's easier to maintain for them.
Okay.
All right? Is there a motion to close?
Make a motion to close the public hearing?
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? It's a vote. Okay. The next item on our agenda is 710 public hearing, Department of Public Works, a notice of intent for the repair of a retaining wall repairs that were originally allowed under an emergency certification that we issued back in November of 2017. The line repair is located on Upland Street in Auburn. Is there a motion open?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, is a vote. Mr. Mitchell?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Can I approach the table too?
Well, sir, you'll have your opportunity
Oh, okay, I
to
just
speak.
had a hearing, that's good.
What will happen is that he'll make a presentation and we'll ask for questions.
Okay.
Okay? Please go ahead.
Jeff.
Now that we're outside of the emergency situation and the repairs have been made, that were made back the first or second week in November, we had a catastrophic failure of an 18-inch concrete sewer line that was eroded away by hydrogen sulfide gas. That's what caused the collapse of the pipe. So once we were outside of the emergency situation, obviously we had to refile, or we have to file for a notice of intent through you people, as well as funding source through town meeting. So we won't be able to do any of this work until July, after July 1st.
Right.
Money becomes available. During the construction, or during the replacement of the sewer line, we disrupted next to the road, which caused damage to a head wall for that intermittent stream. And our plan now is to go back and repair the head wall and return the vegetation back to where it should be.
Okay. And so while you're doing that, you'll erect erosion control measures?
Absolutely.
Okay. And if you would, tell me about the emergency repair that you made. I mean, we issued the emergency cert, but can you just describe for us the type of repair that you made?
We had to go in and actually replace 260 feet of 18-inch concrete pipe.
Okay.
We replaced it with a plastic type pipe rather than a concrete.
Okay. So really then, the purpose of the notice of intent is basically to complete the work that you started when you had to make the emergency repairs in
That is
November?
correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, the bulk of the work would be the repair of the head wall that's right on the edge of the street, where the intermittent stream comes from. I guess you'd call it the outfall from Springbrook Road area, which is up on Packagug. It comes down and it goes under Upland Street, and it exits, on next to our easement at the base of Upland Street. It's right in the hollow,
Okay.
just before the Worcester line.
Okay.
Which is it's an intermittent stream. It doesn't flow all year, just during the wet weather.
Sure. Any questions from the board?
Is a new pipe that's being used not subject to deterioration from the gas, which is great, because that sounds like it'd be a
See, the reason there was a gas problem to start with is that line comes from the Sword Street pump station. Okay, Sword Street takes a little less than half of the wastewater flow from the entire town, and it's a 16-inch force main or pressure line that comes out of the pump station, and it breaks gravity at the top of Jerome Ave. Means, it's pumped
all the way
to
up.
the top of the hill, and then it flows on its own down.
Wow, okay.
We had to replace the pipe that it wasn't concrete there, down the bottom it was, but from Jerome Ave to Packagug, a little bit north on Packagug, all the way down Davis, and all the way to the base of Upland Street with a plastic type material because of the corrosion. So what happens is there's an 8-hour detention time. If you were to think of a slug of water every time the pumps come on and off, there's a slug of water that'll start at the pump station, and every cycle it moves, and it takes 8 hours for that slug of water to finally break and flow on its own. So what happens is it turns septic, and in that situation, I'm sure you've dealt with septic systems. You get the hydrogen sulfide gas, the rotten egg smell. That's what happened.
Wow.
Any other questions from the board? Sir, can you just identify yourself, please? And
I'm Jonathan Altman. I'm the owner of the house on 1 Old Farm Road,
yes, sir.
which is on the corner of Upland and Old Farm.
Okay.
So that I was a little upset because I understand it's an emergency, but no one ever called me. I had construction trucks in my property digging it up without even a call. My tenants, I rent the house. I live in the next town over now. My tenants called because they couldn't get out of the driveway because there were construction trucks blocking my driveway, so they couldn't get out.
Okay.
So they were asking me to try to figure out why I was doing this construction. I'm like, well, I'm not. I don't know what's going on. So I never got a call. I ended up calling RH White because they had some trucks there, and they told me to call. They gave me a number to call, and I got to the foreman. So, but no one ever really told me what was going on. They said it was an emergency repair. So I understand that. And I asked 2 questions. Is this going to cost me anything? And you ripped up my property. Are you going to fix it?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And I was assured it would be fixed, but nothing's happened yet.
Can you
Those
address
two
that?
very, very easy questions. No, it's not going to cost you anything, and yes, it will be returned to as good, if not better, condition than it was in. And the reason no work has been done is because we have to go in there and complete the work that I had just described. But once that is done and the funding, I don't have any, there's no money left in my budget to do the repairs right now. We're 2 weeks outside of July 1st.
Okay.
So once all of this is approved, and I have the approval from DEP as well as Conservation Commission to go forward with the work, I have someone lined up. They're going to come in and we're going to take care of the whole issue.
Can we just make sure that you just don't, if you have to block the driveway a little bit, okay? But
we
just
won't-
make
we
sure
won't-
there's access so they can get out.
This project, yeah, there'll be no issues
Okay,
whatsoever
good.
as far as the driveway being blocked.
Because it
and,
was blocked
you know,
many times, and
yeah.
they called me 3 times on it. So it's my,
Is there,
I don't like complaints.
Jeff, is there an estimate on time period that it will take, how long it will take for you to clear
Less
that
than a
area
week,
basically?
probably a week.
Less than-
I'm thinking a week.
So in
It-
July
it-
sometime?
Okay,
Okay.
all right, sure. That time. Thank you.
Okay.
And this is a fix now, so it's not going to be a problem in the future?
Well, I don't have a crystal ball, but I'm hoping though that there won't be,
Well,
there won't be any future issues.
It's odd to me that you figured the sewer line would have been on this street on Old Farm. It was like in the woods.
It does, it comes down Upland Street, and it takes a right-hand turn, 90-degree turn, paralleling your property. It goes all the way down, paralleling the Upland Gardens Drive behind the apartments, and it ends up at the Pinrock Road.
So you basically
is
had to
where-
make a road through the woods there.
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Any estimate on when the original line was put in?
1973.
Okay.
Most of our system is right around that time.
Okay.
And I was before the Board of Selectmen on Monday night, and because we had a break in a force main coming from the Holstrom Court pump station
Yes.
last week. You were maybe
Aware of that.
notified about that as well. The pressure lines in our system, they are at like 139% of their expected life expectancy. 30 years is the life expectancy for pressure lines, and 50 years on the gravity lines. So we're not quite there yet on the gravity portion, but the pressure lines, we're on borrowed time
So basically, you're making repairs on an as-needed basis.
right now. But I mean, since this break, the Upland Street break, we put some extra money in our budget, in our capital, that we're going to carry every year, an extra 100,000. And what we're going to do is start doing inspections and come up with a capital plan in order to do the repairs,
Fantastic.
in the future.
Good, very
Can I
good.
just ask one more question?
Sure.
Just,
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, please, go ahead, Mr. Altman.
just so in the future, if there was a problem, what should I look for? Is there a smell, or is it? I mean,
It
is it gonna
depends.
get
It
really
could-
wet? Or?
Oh, yeah, it can get very wet, bubbling out of the ground,
Because it was like a little brook there. I just thought that was normal. I mean, I did smell sometimes.
Well, the brook, there is a brook.
Yeah,
beside
right.
it, parallel to the line, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I probably would be accompanied with a sewer smell or
Oh, yeah,
something, right?
yeah.
So I had to make a call by smell
Yes,
that or,
yeah.
okay. Okay.
All right,
That's all I needed.
all right, well, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Any other
Have a good
questions?
night.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, in that event, is there a motion to close?
Make a motion that we close the public hearing?
I second that.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, vote. All right, Mr. Mitchell, we will render a decision this evening. Thank you for coming in.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You think it painless, wasn't it?
Yep, more than enough. It takes a lot more than that.
Take care, Jeff.
Okay. So under other business, we have a request to amend an order of conditions, basically, from Bemis.
Yes.
And this is an unusual situation where the pool location is actually going to be moved further away from the wetlands, which is always a good thing.
Just the Bemis one, oh, Leicester Street, okay.
Did everyone see the plan? I think
No.
I emailed it. Didn't I email it to everybody?
I might have,
Oh, okay. All right, here's the big one you can look at.
So is this one, too?
Oops, sticking, sorry.
So the pole was originally going to be there, and now it's going to be
Closer to the house.
there.
Whose is this? Oh, this is what's his name?
So I think the way we amend the order of conditions is just to incorporate the new plan. And this plan is dated, well, the plan is dated March 24th of 16, but this has to be
Yeah, amend down there.
in a revised plan. It doesn't say that, though.
Really?
looks like it's almost just drawn over.
Right.
So they might just have forgotten to change it.
I think you're right.
Oh, that's kind of bizarre.
It was,
You get that plan?
Like, it looks photocopy.
Yeah.
I didn't get that.
I got an email, I opened it and think
I
email.
don't think I did.
I didn't get that much. You said you,
normally when plans,
Bizarre.
there usually is an amendment to a plan, you know, and the date is noted on the plan itself.
Yeah, or revision or something.
What?
Like a revision date somewhere.
Yeah.
Can we,
Yes.
I would make this suggestion, I would notify the applicant, just say that we are certainly in agreement to accept the revised plan, but that we need...
Date on it.
We need a revised date on it, because clearly this plan has been revised since March of 2016.
Should I contact the engineer?
Sure.
Okay. I can't believe that.
Did you get a sense from the applicant when they want to start building? I mean, are they waiting for us to approve this?
Well, she did come in, what, May 7th,
Okay,
talking about it,
right.
so
Mhm.
I don't know, I didn't get any date from her, but I'm thinking
Okay.
it is over a month.
Her plans from 2016 though.
I'll make sure we
Yeah.
get that
Andy Mallett,
All right.
stamp Andy Mallett.
Yeah, we
Um,
issued.
I thought we did
I'm a
that.
little
Yeah.
reluctant to take any action, though, until we get the revised plan.
If you want to take the action and I'll hold it until I get the revised plan, do you want to do that?
Well, let's talk about it. I mean, it's not like, you know, again, the benefit, there's actually going to be a benefit in the sense that the pool is farther away from the wetland area, so there will be less of an impact, and there was probably a buffer zone anyway, so. Is there a motion then?
We can't make it.
I can't.
If I could,
No, we're looking
I
for,
guess just, why don't you go ahead?
looking for a motion to go, Allison.
To accept the new plan pending its revised date, you know, on the plan.
Okay.
To move the pool at 262 Leicester Street.
Well, it's 462, I'm sorry, I didn't put the correct date on that.
It's 462?
It's 462.
462.
All right.
I made it typo.
I'll second that.
All right, is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed to vote. All right, so, and basically, I think what you tell the applicant is that
Yep.
we voted on the amendment, but we need, in order
Date
to
on the plan.
amend the order conditions, we need the revised plan.
Okay,
Okay?
yep.
Good.
So you will be signing this, right, then? You voted?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it can't be released until we get
Right,
the revised,
okay. Okay.
revised plan.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, that's crazy.
This is that project.
I know sometimes people try to save a little money because if they do that, they're gonna get charged a fee, but they should
Yeah.
revise the plan.
Oh,
yeah. Because all they're gonna do is change the date
Yeah, I'm
on
sure
it.
they revised it.
Right.
Oh, maybe.
It's like,
I'm sure
change
the
the date on
engineer
it, right,
did it.
revision
That
one,
doesn't
right.
look like,
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't.
If we request a consultation, it comes out of our own, is that correct?
It comes out of the fees that people pay.
Thank you.
Everybody, when they pay the filing fees to the town and
It
state.
comes out of the fees,
That's-
okay.
So our fees, we hire consultants,
Oh,
experts.
okay,
and
out
they're
of the
like-
fees that they pay for.
Right.
Matter of fact, I got that bill from Margaret, and I'm going to bring it down
Margaret
tomorrow.
Washburn.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so, we have minutes, but I'd like to save those until we discuss 498 Rochdale Street.
All right.
So, as I think you all know, Margaret Washburn went out at our request and did a site visit of the property. And based on her review of the property and the photographs she took, and I hope you did take a look at the report, what Mr. Goodman put there was not at all in compliance with what had been drawn by his consultant. And, I mean, several of us are familiar with the property and the issues that we've had with the property going back to 2014 or beginning of 2015.
Probably 2015.
And based on our observation of the property, he's put in a straight channel. It has actually made it's now almost turning into a swamp between, or the bottom of his property and the property owned by Mr. and Mrs. Barocas, which was not the intention, nor the design that was contemplated by Ecotech. And as you know, Margaret also, we have retained Ms. Washburn, who also made some suggestions. So I can't account for why Mr. Goodman did this. I mean, I suspect he did it in part because it was probably the easiest thing to do, but it was not in conformance with the plan, and it needs to be corrected. And so my thought was to issue an enforcement order with the understanding that what needs to be done there, it's going to need a wetland consultant to go in there. I think it's and we're certainly within our rights to have the work supervised because it wasn't supervised the last time. And give him a certain date for compliance. And I think it can't be 2 weeks. I think it's not unreasonable to suggest a date, maybe the second meeting in July, although I'm not sure when that is.
So the beginning of August, so we're doing 12, what do we got?
11th, right, because the 4th is a
It's
Wednesday.
something like 11th,
It wouldn't
11
be on
and
the
then
4th anyway,
25.
11th,
Yeah, it's
Sounds
the
right.
11th, and then
So we have
the
vacations
next meeting
to-
is the 25th.
the 25th. So my suggestion would be that we schedule a hearing on this on July 25th with the understanding that Mr. Goodman or his representative will have or be able to tell us what steps he's going to take or are going to be taken to remediate the conditions at the site. I'm not done yet. If we don't get compliance by that date, we have the ability to find non-compliance or people that are not in compliance, and at that point, I think we can consider the issuance of fines.
Did you
I mean,
want-
I just want to say that just think the situation at that property is egregious. You know,
Mess.
we spent a significant amount of time to correct the initial problem where he wanted to build his house in a wetland area without ever giving us notice. That area had to be remediated, and now there was a plan put in place to reestablish the wetland area. And what's been done there has made the site conditions frankly worse, and it needs to be corrected.
Did you want?
I agree. Are we going to address the fact that he continues to build stuff within the wetlands?
Well, I think, again, you know, if you look at the order of conditions, he is,
You wanted to see the report. Did you want to
I
see
mean,
the
like, he's just not paying
You
attention.
mean the fire pit and the beehive
Yeah.
oven? Is that what you're
Yeah.
talking? Yeah,
Yeah,
with the
I-
cardboard sitting in it, you
Yeah,
know?
he's just not paying attention. He's
No,
not,
he's ignoring it.
It's
he's
ver-
just, he's not taking us seriously.
well,
No.
I understand that.
Yep.
And so the intention would be to, in fact, get him to pay attention to this. And I think one way you get someone to pay attention is to start funding it.
I think that's a fabulous idea.
But
But he needs to take that up and down, right?
you know what? We have an order of conditions. All that stuff was. I mean, there was. If you recall, I think he put a chicken coop right next to
Yep.
the channel.
Right.
That can't. It has to come out.
We told him to take that up.
We
So-
did, he didn't.
All right, so,
Enforcement order?
That was there, she
we're
took
gonna,
that.
again, I'll need a motion in a second, but my suggestion would be that we issue an enforcement order. Any structures that have been built on the lower part of that property near the channel or within 100 feet of the wetland area, including the channel, have to be removed.
Structures in the lower part of the channel, what was that last sentence?
Near the channel or within 100 feet of the wetland area need to be removed. And again, we'll do this in the form of a motion. And then my suggestion would be that he needs to appear before us on July 25th. Now, if he has a vacation plan or something, if he wants a brief continuance, or if we're contacted by a wetland professional requesting a continuance, we can consider that. But
Yeah.
if not, we expect someone to appear on his behalf on July 25th with a remediation plan. And I would also suggest that failure to comply or to attend a meeting on July 25th with a plan to remediate the condition of the site may result in the imposition of fines.
Okay, I'll remember that.
So that's someone's motion. It's not my motion.
So be it.
Let's see.
Go, Michelle, you got it? With issue A.
I believe that we should send Mr. Goodman a enforcement letter,
Order.
stating that any structure that is within 100 feet of the channel
Or near the channel.
or near the channel
Mhm.
be removed with care.
Like it with care.
Um,
And any structures in the
And-
lower part of the channel?
any structures in the lower part of the channel,
Also be removed.
and that he have a plan in place
July 25th.
by July 25th
Or
with a representative,
Him or a representative?
with him or a representative, by July 25th.
Good job.
Or we're going to start imposing fines.
Fines.
Or at least the issue of fines will be considered.
Issue of fines will be considered, sounds good. Nice job.
Or the issue of fines will be considered.
Okay, great.
All right. Is there?
I would like to add to that. I would
Please.
also like to add a sentence asking the person to state the reasons why they didn't follow the plan and did with the plantings and everything that was asked of.
That's a
Plan
good
was
one, I
not
like that.
followed. Okay.
Okay. I'll second that.
Okay. Is there any other discussion? Okay. If there's no other discussion, all those in favor? What?
Go ahead.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Opposed? It's a vote.
Okay, good.
Just get it in board thing and sign it.
There's
Type it up.
something from Margaret emails.
Yeah. I printed it. and
I
it's
think she sent it to me, and I thought I sent copies to
I
everyone.
have,
You can, what the Marshall, you can
Okay.
keep that if you want.
No, I've got my own.
Okay,
But I just read it
sure.
quickly.
My briefcase at home.
Okay.
Curious what the previous
All right.
site plan looked like.
But, that was my first meeting. That was my first meeting,
When was?
that enforcement, the
That was it?
original cease and
Yeah.
desist.
Oh, that's right, yeah, yeah.
That's right, so that was,
Yeah.
that was way before
It was
me,
like,
but
this
that
is
was
what not to do.
Yeah.
Pretty much true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that was a mess too way back. I remember, I was like, what was he thinking? He
When
wants
did
it.
I go? No, I went after that because I was after you.
Yeah.
So was that year before?
He
your
was
first
still,
time? Yep.
he was still doing silly things.
Okay.
So I had 13, 14.
That was 15,
Yeah.
So I started
15 or 16.
When did the 3-year terms? I was doing 19.
It was what, 2 weeks now?
So we've got 2 orders to issue.
I know, and we also have to do meeting minutes. What's your preference? Would you rather do
Oh, thank you.
the order of conditions? This should be pretty easy, actually.
We'll get them done. This is what you was just here for, right?
Yeah.
We may have a new shredder. Oh, that must have had to be interesting. I couldn't go there, I wish I had,
The two controls that actually control the dam, you know, it goes up and down,
Yes.
control the water, they're stolen. They have new ones. They're made out of brass, and he explained they were very heavy. Some group of people must have came in and took the thing thinking they were scrapping. I couldn't believe that somebody would go in and steal those,
It's true.
Wow.
So anyway.
even if it's bolted down.
For the diversion flood control system spillway and assorted items, is there a motion?
Make a motion that we issue a standard order plus on as-built. We don't really need an as-built because they're just kind of doing maintenance, correct?
Yeah,
3,
that's fair.
5, 8.
There's going to be riprap, so 7 should go in there.
Are they installed? I thought they weren't installing though. I thought they were just up.
They're going to go in there, and if they need to,
If they need to.
install it, they will.
Okay. 7.
About 6.
There's no replication that's going to
Oh,
be
sorry.
done. No, it's all right.
Where is it?
11, I guess, because they are going to be taking out some vegetation. I think they would know better, but
Okay.
retention, structure maintained. Well, that's what the purpose of doing it. I think that's it.
13.
All right, so standard order plus
1, 3,
5, 7, 11.
1,
3,
3, 5, 7,
5,
8,
8.
yeah.
11,
11, and
13.
13.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Is there a second?
Second that?
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's a vote.
All right. So this was,
Yep.
okay, so 1.
Thank you.
D5 after that little bit of rain, huh?
Just got muggier.
Mm.
Let's wash it dry.
Andy Reynolds, all done. Thank you.
Okay, and the next item is for the Auburn Department of Public Works, notice of intent to repair the retaining wall, and the repairs after the emergency cert for the sewer line on Upland Street. So is there a motion?
I make a motion that we issue a standard order,
Mhm.
and for the special conditions,
Here.
pretty much verbatim, the same ones that were mentioned in the previous one, I believe. Just looking down the list, they're pretty.
All right,
I
so
can't
just,
see one that's different.
all right, so just to
Could be right.
repeat, 1,
1,
3, 5, I don't think there's any riprap.
7, no.
I don't think so. 8,
11,
11, and 13.
13.
So 1, 3, 5, 7, 8.
No, no,
No
7.
seven.
No 7. Okay. 1, 3, 5, 8, 11, and 13.
Yeah.
Correct. And is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's a vote.
All righty.
We have some meeting minutes to do.
Two. That's good. April 25, is that right?
All righty.
Okay.
This is for, okay.
I have no changes on any of them. All three. I didn't
Ooh.
even find a typo. could be remiss if we want to
Okay.
see.
But, you know, the other ones, I thought, I had some writing on it, and I thought.
Yeah,
the
I
writing-
think one of them we started them, and then we said, oh, we'll just wait.
Oh, okay, because
The
I'm thinking
25th.
like, all right, and I've listened to the whole meeting, and I could not find where, you know, there were a couple interruptions, and I thought I kept missing it. Okay, all right, I think all right, I don't know if I left those in, I probably didn't bring those. Did I? 89. All right, thank you.
Yep.
All right, so I got 25th. Okay, right.
Street, is that the,
Um,
190 South Street, that's the fifth place?
I have no changes for the meeting minutes of April
No,
25th.
no, no.
That's L&L.
Thank you.
Okay.
Any changes to the meeting minutes of April 25th?
Fine, then.
I think I went through this. I lost them. I lost them.
Okay.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Actually, you were there. April 25th?
Where was there? Oh, we found them.
All right.
Yeah, there was there somewhere.
All right, if you'd like a moment to review them.
Okay, we're on 20. So we're on 9?
The audience doesn't allow.
Oh, goodness.
Okay.
I trust you.
Well, don't trust me, trust her.
That's right.
And, you know.
That's all set, right?
Okay, is there a motion?
I make a motion to accept the meeting, the minutes of the meeting from April 25th.
April 25th. Yep.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Is there a discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, it's a vote. All right, one down to go.
Are we doing May 9th next?
We are.
May.
Okay, because you had discussed about eliminating that sentence.
A
Oh,
line.
that's right, we did.
The vote was all in favor. Oh, commission visited the site 2 weeks prior. Is that the one? That's the line?
Michael Donald said he's supposed to
State
the Board of
Board of-
Health, and there was no setback requirement.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
We cross that out?
Yes. I don't know.
You don't know.
I mean, I was
Sounds good.
thinking that I might have walked out of the
I don't-
something because I
I don't think we-
don't
No, I
have
think you,
these.
you did mention that, though, because
What? And then what, we
the
just
abutter
didn't
was,
finish?
the abutter was concerned.
Mhm.
Oh, so you had mentioned, oh, I talked to the Board
I
of
did,
Health.
I did.
There isn't a setback, so you did mention that.
As far as I know, this is the first time we're taking the meeting minutes from May 9th. Okay?
Yes.
So maybe you got ahead of yourself there.
Maybe did you send it to me in an email? Maybe that's, no?
Don't think so. I don't think I had an
Wow, I don't
opportunity
know how
to do it. Okay.
I don't know.
It's a ghost.
Mental telepathy.
Ghost.
Yes.
It's funny.
Okay.
It's the ghost of Concom future.
You shrugged. I'm getting excited.
I get some stuff.
I don't have any changes.
Looking at 498 Rochdale Street,
Yes.
about halfway down it says, and it's actually a quote from me, explain the chain of events on Mr. Goodman's property, stating that Scott Morrison from Ecotech Inc. report showed the stream was replicated as it was prior to any construction. I don't know that that's true.
Okay.
Okay, and so,
Yeah.
I feel, I think it should come out because I'm not confident
All
that
right.
that is true.
So it says,
Because frankly, if it was replicated as it was prior to construction, we wouldn't be having the problems as we
Right.
are
Yeah,
having
right.
now.
Yeah.
So I'll
So-
omit that whole
So
thing.
thing
Take that
starting-
whole sentence out,
starting
please.
your name.
Michael Gowan said.
Thank your name, okay. Explain the chain events.
I mean, I know that Scott Morrison had gone there, he had prepared
Yeah.
a plan,
Mm.
but,
She's
I
concerned.
think, yeah, so, yeah, I don't believe I said that, to be honest with you.
Okay. Mental telepathy.
Driveway, so water is 125 feet away from
Scary
the
thing.
driveway, and he's not sure of the property boundaries, okay. Thought it would be sent.
For, on the next page, page 300, 2 Warman Road, it says, I stated I visited the site, however, more information would need to be obtained instead of investigated. Do you see that? Should
Yep.
be
Yep.
obtained. And those are the only changes I have for the meeting minutes of May 9th. Any other changes? Okay.
So,
Is there a motion then?
Make a motion to accept the meeting minutes for May 9, 2018 as amended.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's a vote. And then last but not least,
Not that an extra set here can really use it.
23rd.
So 700 Southbridge Street,
yes.
where it says, Carolyn motioned to send a letter to them informing them they need to clean the tree. I mean, you could just say that, send a letter requesting they clean the area. Seems like a lot of thems, but that's just,
Oh, sending them to, them to.
To the applicant, to the
Yeah.
property owner?
letter requesting they clean the area.
It's just a-
Right, to the property.
Okay.
Yeah, the other side has to be open.
Yeah, I think, so I would,
Requesting them to clean the area.
Mhm.
Oh,
yeah,
they did, and I did.
Okay.
send a letter requesting them to clean the area.
Mhm.
Good.
It's a good letter.
Okay. Under, on page 2, at the end of, towards the end of the 710 public hearing on
Yeah.
the diversion tunnel, just very simply, it says, I stated he wanted to work the site on June 2nd, not and, June 2nd. It's just a typo.
Oh,
And then after 9 a.m., you could just put a comment and just put in which was scheduled.
okay.
And then under 33 Hampton Street, the last sentence, it says, I visited the site last year and found no evidence of wetland, should be wetland issues.
Okay.
Should be trees and wetland issues. Whatever the wetland issues are.
So I think for Forest Park, bittersweet is one word.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, under 730 Andy Mallard. It's the line after, or it's the line that begins slope has sunk due to. You see that?
Yeah.
It should be, the slope is sunk due to the shavings that were placed there.
Okay.
There's a shavings from work.
Yeah. Okay.
Give me a little oversight on the 46 Pioneer Lane. I did go there and took pictures, but I didn't know exactly what the issues were. I was on that visit. The 6 Pioneer Lane,
The issue is that,
at this point.
well, first of all, it's, you know what, it's not on our public hearing agenda for this evening.
Okay.
I can tell you that there's an issue of whether or not there should be an amendment to an order of conditions concerning the level, basically the elevation. It has to do with drainage on the property. And so Mr. Gravoski is going to actually come here to amend the order of conditions.
It's in the packet.
And that's actually on our next meeting.
Okay.
So I think if you have any questions at that point, you can
Thank
probably
you.
ask them there.
I'll go over them then. Thank you very much.
No, no problem.
So the fifth sentence in that 6 Pioneer Lane?
Yes.
Never be higher than 628, not never buy higher.
Oh, okay. Alrighty.
Right.
And then wanted to stated, so just wanted to state
Yeah.
Where
Just
is
take out
that?
Just take
a little bit.
Oh, one.
second to
Okay.
last
Take up the D,
sentence.
that's a trick one.
Or it's actually the last sentence
Took
of that
pictures,
section.
but
Okay.
I gotta see if I can find those letters. I'm pretty sure I remember seeing them.
Okay.
So I've got that on my to-do list here.
I have no other changes. Does anyone else? Okay. So in that case, is there a motion?
make a motion that we accept the minutes of the May 23rd meeting as amended.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, Allison abstains.
Very good.
All right.
Caught up.
All right, I just wanted to mention a little something. We had sent the letter to 34 Mill Street for Mr. Robidoux to get his site cleaned up, and he's sent me pictures and told me he's got it all cleaned up, and now I think he likes to, he has been sending me other pictures, which I did not forward to you yet because I didn't have time with short staff in the office right now, and he did email me. I just want to make sure that everyone knows. He did email me some from West Tech, and about there was a bunch of vehicles parked all over dirt, not on paved surfaces over there, which I don't know if that, if it's not conservation, if that, I think it's more of a building department issue, but I just wanted to let everyone know if they have to
West
drive
Tech?
by West Tech.
West Tech.
Yeah, there's like a site there, and it looks like it has become a dumping ground.
Where's the entry?
Yeah, where's
That's
the...
just before Lundgren, West Tech, off to the right.
Oh, West Tech goes up the hill.
Yeah.
Okay, I got, oh, okay.
Isn't that West Tech?
Well, I mean,
West Tech and FedEx is way
And the
up.
parking, they got vehicles parked in the dirt?
Yeah.
No, that's
I don't
West
know.
Tech.
I'll send the pictures.
Yeah, yeah.
It's right off
No,
of
it's
Route
in
20, I
pictures.
believe. Is
Yes.
that correct? Yeah.
I'll send the pictures tomorrow.
what, I don't think we need to make a formal site walk, but I think if we can go over and just
Yeah.
check out Mr. Robu's property, and maybe
Yeah.
check out West Tech. I mean,
Okay.
if there, you know, if we have jurisdiction, if there are wetland areas near there, or something that, you know, may confer jurisdiction, then we could take a look at it. Otherwise, no.
Yeah,
You know, maybe it is the
Yeah,
building
I think
department.
it's West Tech.
Is it who, it's West Tech Drive, correct?
yeah, I don't know who
If
owns
we,
it.
if we were to go
I'll
up
have
there,
to look again.
there are some other businesses up there, I believe, I know, I've been up there, FedEx is up there.
The office has just
the one on the right.
been non-stop.
It's on the right just before Longman, it's off of Route 20, almost opposite the beginning of a trailer park on the left. And you go up in there, and I know that I had to return something at FedEx, so there's a FedEx
Okay.
way
Yeah.
up there, among other
Uh-huh.
properties that I don't know at
Right.
that
Yeah.
point. This
Right.
was like 2 years ago that I went
Okay.
up there.
Yeah.
So where we're talking about, I don't know exactly, but we'll find out. I'll take a look up there.
Is there any other business?
Okay, so just how did we leave it here with Goodman, that he's gotta come in with that plan on the 20th?
What I would suggest is that if you could prepare a draft for the enforcement order and send it to me, and
Sure.
I'll revise it. Or,
Okay, good.
you know,
Proof it.
fine tune it. I'll proof it. I'll fine tune it.
All right.
Okay?
Okay,
Mike,
that's
should
good.
we
So these were all
notify the
issues.
abutter? Barack, what's it, Baracus?
Mr. Baracus.
Yeah, should we
Yeah.
notify him?
I'm
that-
sure she'll be notifying us, so I can
sure
just,
she'll, yeah.
I can just give her that report from Margaret, right? That's all public.
Yeah, it's part of our
Information.
file, so it's a
Yeah.
public record,
Okay.
you know, and,
So I'll just send that to her then.
right.
Seen the one?
Yeah,
And if
because
they
I
watch
told
our,
her
if they watch our meeting, then they
Yeah.
know we've taken action. So,
Right,
okay?
so, okay, and I'll let Darlene know too what's going on.
Okay, very good. If there's no other business, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any
Thank you.
discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, it's a vote. All right, thank you, everyone.